Well, we've got to do something to deal with the small boats crisis for a whole number of reasons. It's not fair that people can come to this country without following legal and normal routes. At the moment, our migration policy, a big chunk of it, is in the hands of illegal people smugglers. So we've got to do something. Now, hopefully this Rwanda scheme will work. Because if it doesn't, we're in a real mess, and the government's put a lot of credibility on the line about it. So I think we've got to give it a go. I think it's only right that she's drawing attention to it, because we want people to know what we're doing, if it's going to be effective. And I think people have got to stop slagging Rwanda off. Like, it's a developing country. It's been doing really, really well in recent times. I wonder how much of the criticism people are throwing at the scheme is actually racism, and under the grounds, in terms of being critical of a country because it's in Africa.
Why did you just laugh when he said, is it racism why people are criticising Rwanda? I think he's probably got a point.
Because it's the last refuge of somebody whose argument's got nothing to stand on to say that criticism is racist. Suella Braverman is paying £140 million of your viewers' money to Rwanda to purchase 300 places. 300. That is fewer places than the number of people who have arrived in the last 2 or 3 days in small boats. So, just if you took the people who come off the small boats in the last 3 days, that's more than all those places that she's paid for with £140 million of viewers' money, taxpayers' money. Secondly, we know Home Office officials are processing 5 cases a month. That's why there's a backlog. That's why it'll take forever to get through all of the people who are taken off the boats if this law passes in the form that she wants. If the law passes in the form that she wants and boats keep coming, we're going to end up in a situation where she has to create, the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, has to create somewhere to hold, a holding pen for the people who come every day, every week, every month, because her law says you, even if you are a victim of modern slavery, cannot be somebody who gains any refugee status in our country. So if you say that to people, why are they going to hang around for their case never to be processed, or for the years they're going to be processed? The whole thing is farcical. It's based on a notion that by not allowing legal routes, except for Hong Kong and Ukraine, into this country, that people will, for some reason, not come to a country that they want to come to because they have connections with this country, because they admire our country despite what we're threatening to do to them, because they know this is a great country to come to. So we've got a chaotic thing where 300 places is meant to be something. And you get this mixed message. Suella Braverman goes to Rwanda, goes, it is great. And then at the same time she says, it's a deterrent. What is it? Deterrent? Or is it brilliant? Is it nice or is it nasty?
Well, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both.
Both.
Yeah, it is.
300 places.
It's intended, first and foremost, to be a deterrent. Because when you say, oh, yeah, these people, they choose the UK because they've got connections, they think it's a nice place to be. I mean, forgive me, but if you actually are fearing for your life, surely your primary concern is, I need to be safe. That's priority number one, yeah?
People from Afghanistan want to be with an Afghan community. They want to be living in a country which they worked for when we were in occupation in supporting the government in Afghanistan. People in Somaliland have a connection to the UK since the days of the British Empire, as does Afghanistan. People have a connection here. They've got family here. They want to be reunited with their family. There's all the reasons they want to come here. And the main thing is, in terms of burden sharing, we don't take our fair share even within Europe. Yeah. And most refugees, asylum seekers, displaced people live very close to the border of the country they've been displaced from.
But the main nation that people are coming from on these boats is Albania, isn't it?
No, there's a proportion of them, and
that's the main nation. So when you look at the country that's sending the bulk of the people, it is Albania, isn't it?
Suella Braverman.
No, but it is.
Suella Braverman has been to Albania and paid loads of money to their country's government to get them to stop sending people over here.
But you do concede, though, don't you?
Most people who've been processed from Albania, who've actually had their case gone through, they have been approved to stay here.